Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I've got another card project for you today, and it's this one. It's using the hand-delivered host set. This is one of the sets that you can only get with host rewards. Now, I have sent out host sets as part of my use the host code and you get product offering. So this is something that just think about whether or not you want to use the host code when you order from my online store, because you never know. Sometimes I do share the host sets as the product share. This is in the annual catalogue, so we'll be saying goodbye to this in a couple of months now. Beginning of January it will go. We know it will go because host sets never carry over. Some stamp sets do carry over, but host sets never do. So if you have a larger order, then now would be the time to think about placing that, because once people start going a bit, it's nearing the end of the catalogue mad, host sets have a tendency to disappear as well. So this is a really easy card to put together. It does use quite a few stamping blends. There are 4 combos and 2 singles. But the thing with the blends is that once you've got them for a long time. So I think it's worth getting them. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit just to show you that just changing things a tiny weeny bit can make quite a big difference to the final look of your card. So I'm going to use the balloons again, and I'm actually going to ink up the balloons first, because I find that as this is quite a large stamp, I want to make sure that I've got the legs in the right place, and the easiest way of doing that is to put the balloons down first, because then I know that I've got enough room for the balloons. And I don't mind too much if the legs are a bit further up the card, but I kind of do need the balloons to be on the card. Now, photopolymer is great because it means you can see through, and all you need to do is just line up the top of the skirt, and there you go. The key with lining up photopolymer stamps through the block is to make sure that the bit you're lining up has got clear block around it. So this stamp would actually fit on this block north-south, by which I mean that way, just about. But I would not use it that way, because then the lovely curved ergonomic part of the block gets in the way when you're looking through it. So by putting it on an angle with a reasonable amount of, am I even in camera? Yes, I am. With a reasonable amount of block at the top, you can see through the block much easier because you've got a clear view. Just a little tip. Okay, so I'm going to start with the dark of each of the colours that I am using for the balloons. You can do each balloon individually. I just find it's easier just to kind of go for it. They're fairly easy to colour because they are, after all, just circles. So the key is to get as close to the edge as you can without actually going over it. And then just fill in the bits you want to fill in. I'm going to turn this upside down because I'm going to get lost otherwise. Now I'm doing my lights coming from here, so I'm having shadow at the bottom of my balloon, but I'm also going to have shadow wherever a balloon is behind another balloon, if that makes sense. So there, for example. Now, because the red is a very definite pop of colour, I'm only having 2 balloons in red, because I think more than that would be too red. So that's my shadow, and then this is because of the overlap. And then here again, like that. And again, the yellow can be quite striking, so I'm going to not do too much of the Daffodil Delight. But this is going to be shadow. I love colouring. I just can't get enough of it. I would very happily, and I have done this for swaps. We've got our big event, corporate event coming up back end of next week. I have swaps that I must make because I have promised to do some swaps and I haven't made them yet. And I can't use blends for them because of the rules of the particular swap I'm involved in. So yes, I'm very happy to do some stamping and then just colour in while I'm watching television. I'm not very good at sitting watching television. I find it quite boring. So yeah, I don't really like doing it. So I will very happily stamp a whole load of whatever and then just sit and, in inverted commas, watch television while I'm colouring in. Actually, I'm going to go... no, I will use this for the whole thing. So, using the brush tip end, you can do nice big sweeps. But again, do make sure that you get all of the edge covered. And then I just do some swirls. We're colouring something that's circular, so swirls strike me as being the way to go. And to blend in, just add some ink over the line that you've got from the dark blend. Did I say which colours? I don't think I did. So this is Poppy Parade, and it's the combo, so it's the light and the dark Poppy Parade. Then I've got Night of Navy and Daffodil Delight for my blue and my yellow. I love this Poppy Parade. It is just such a fantastic, bright, amazing colour. It's what I would call a real... I was going to say what I call a real red, but of course we've got real red. Now here's the thing. When... oh, that's the wrong one. No! No, wrong one. It's all right. I can blend this out enough, probably. When we just had real red as our deep red, or as our bright red, I thought it was bright. And now we have Poppy Parade. Real red is lovely, but it's not bright. It is now right where it should be in the Regals. Yeah, looks right. So the key, if you do something like that, you can either use the colour lifter, which actually technically is the colour pusher backer. So you can probably see here that where the dark was, because I flooded it with the light, it's pushed the ink further back. So colour lifter is a bit of a misnomer. It's colour pusher backer, really. The dye is still there, it just isn't on the surface anymore. So there's our... So yes, I was sort of surprised when I first heard that real red was going into the Regals, and now it makes perfect sense because Poppy Parade is just such a fantastically bright colour and is absolutely in the right place in the brights. Right, so we're nearly there. Now obviously in the privacy of your own home you can spend a little more time getting this perfect, but I do sometimes think that there are more exciting things to do than watch me colour. This may be where people who do fast forward on videos would be at benefit. I don't like the idea of doing fast forward because I think it's cheating. You're showing someone a short video and then you suddenly realise that half of it is being shown at 5 times normal speed. That means it's a long project, doesn't it? Anyway, that's just me. So, yes, so I do them in real time. And as you know, if something goes wrong, like the Daffodil Delight, oops, I fix it. Because we all make mistakes, so we need to know how to fix them. Right. Okay, so that's all the balloons ballooned. I will be coming back and do some more on that in a moment, but first of all I'm going to just remember to colour in her arms and her legs, and I'm using ivory. We have two, in inverted commas, flesh colours. We've got ivory and bronze, depending on whether you're looking for a lighter or a darker skin tone. So that's her arms and her legs. And then for her skirt and blouse, I'm going to use Balmy Blue. And I wanted a colour that kind of sat well, but didn't detract, which is why I've gone for the Balmy Blue, because it's, obviously we've got blue in here quite a lot already. So rather than adding, I don't know, soft sea foam or mint macaron, which would draw the eye away from the balloons because it's a different colour, I thought I would just stick with a blue. And again, I'm going to use the brush tip just to fill that in quickly. And again, I would say spend a bit more time on that than I have. So that's the dark, and then this is the light. And that is her blouse done. And then we just need to do her shoes, which I'm doing in light Night of Navy. There we go. Right, okay, so that's all of that done. So I've changed up the mat. First of all, I've got a half sheet of A4 scored. So it's half sheet is A5, scored to make it an A6 base. And then whereas for this one I used the, oh, I know what I've forgotten to do. Whereas for this one I used Night of Navy, this time I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and you will be surprised, I think, by the difference. But first, pop of colour lifter, just to show where the light is hitting. So it's only going to be on, let's pick up a bit of colour, that's better. It's only going to be on balloons where there would be a bit of colour, a bit of light rather. Right, so snail. I don't like using multi-purpose liquid adhesive on smooth Whisper White cardstock. I find that sometimes it doesn't sit well. So I prefer snail for this part, but my preferred adhesive is multi-purpose liquid adhesive, so I will be using that to stick the mat to the front of the card. And I'm just scribbling. You don't need a lot. And then just from the back, press nice and hard, pop the lid back on the adhesive. And do you see how the Night of Navy has really framed that card? The Daffodil Delight is still delightful, but because it is the paler shade, it doesn't give that real difference, so it doesn't frame it in the same way. Poppy Parade would have the same effect as the Night of Navy, but the Daffodil Delight, completely different look. And all I've done is change that mat. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a fun little project. I like the idea of lots of balloons being held by someone, particularly as the sun has come out today and it's a nice jolly spring day. Anyway, all the information and close-ups will be in the associated blog post, which is in the description bar below. You will also find this month's host code, so depending on how many host rewards we get this month, you never know, a host stamp set may possibly be winging its way to you. If you use that for orders between 20 and over 20 and under £150, at £150 you get to be your own host, so you get to choose what you would like. April is a fantastic time to join my team because it gives you 6 months to hit your first minimum, so that will give us April, May, June, July, August, September, which means you've got the new annual catalogue you can order from, and the Christmas catalogue So it's a perfect time to join. So do have a think about that, whether you're in the UK, France, Austria, the Netherlands or Germany. You would be very welcome to join my team. So do have a think about that. Any questions, comments, please do ask. Either go over to my website and drop me an email. There's all my contact details there. Or leave a comment in the description bar below. If you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please do consider subscribing. The subscription button is in the bottom right-hand corner. If you would like to be notified of when I post a new video, you also need to go over to the to my channel and click the little bell that is next to the subscribe button, and then you'll get an email every time I post a new video. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.